Do you know what? It was my intention to send out a really positive video to have a little bit of decent update, you know, for West Ham fans. Because let's be honest, its international break has been pretty crap, really, isn't it? It's been a bit of a crap international break for West Ham fans because it's just been like non-stop, you know, negative news coming out regarding our players. So first of all, we had Soufal, went out on the lash and got caught for it. I mean, all right, that's not really a bad thing for West Ham as such. I don't think it's going to have any consequences whatsoever. I don't think David Moyes will care, to be honest. I mean, all right, they might not like it as such, but I don't think it's going to have any real impact on West Ham whatsoever. But the injuries, though, I mean, I was saying it the other day, wasn't I? I said, oh, you know, we've been pretty lucky recently with injuries of late, and we're having a good season for it. So it's bloody bound to happen. So yeah, you can blame me for that because I do think that's quite a reasonable response to it because we just seem to be now inundated with injuries. So we've obviously got Mikel Antonio. Looks like he's going to be out for a few weeks. You've got Jared Bowen, who's a bit doubtful. Heard a bit more news on that. Not quite sure. I'm not going to talk about it at the moment, but don't know yet. We don't know enough about it, but we put out an update on it a bit earlier saying that, you know, hopefully it's not too bad. I think he's got to have a scan, etc. Well, I think he's had the scan. There's fluid on the knee, but it could be worse. Don't know enough about it yet. So we're going to wait for ex-WH employee to provide a bit more of an update on it. But fingers bloody crossed because, my God, we need him to be fit. He's obviously a vital player. And now we're hearing about Kudus as obviously himself as well. Why not have another striker going down? So apparently he's back. I mean, I don't know how serious that is. It doesn't sound overly serious, and I think he might even be playing later. So hopefully he's playing for Ghana. That will just sort of get rid of that issue. But I mean, just typical. And also we've got some crucial games, you know, coming up. So yeah, I'll get to the point, really. I was hoping to put out a bit of a positive video. I can't even do that because I've got an update on the budget for January, which is, yeah. We'll talk about that in a second, though, because I'll tell you, I have got something positive about this video, and that's the Christmas jumper. The West Ham Way Christmas jumper. It's out now. It's available to get from our online shop. You can go there now, 28 quid plus postage. Do you know what, right? I'm really funny with jumpers. A bit funny. I don't know what yourselves, but you know, like, when you get a Christmas jumper, I find it, I can find it a bit itchy. I'm a bit funny with jumpers and stuff. And yeah, I just don't, I'm a bit like particular about what jumpers I buy. So I like them to be quite soft and that and quite comfortable. So this is exactly that. So this is just like a typical, honestly, it's like old fashioned retro kind of design, just snowflake blue, claret, white, West Ham. That's it. And I like it. I really like it. I'm going to be giving it plenty around the Christmas table this year, singing West Ham songs, I'm sure, you know. It depends how we do, though, innit? It depends how we do. It depends how... If we're doing really well, then I'll be a bit louder, maybe. But no, seriously, it's available now. And also, we're going to available in a kid size as well, which is going to be the next couple of days available. So if you want to get sort of matching ones for little ones, whatever, it's all available. Anyway, if you want to get an adult one now, they are available. People ask me, though, keep asking me, what size are you wearing? Right? This is small, just so you know. Right, but because I'm a short ass, I'm a short ass twat. That is me. So yeah, that's so this is a small, but yeah, it really fits nice. I really like it. So if you want it, go and check it out. I've got the link, by the way, in this video below. So just click on that, it'll take you there, and you can order it up, and it'll be with you in a couple of days and ready for party season for Christmas. So that's the good stuff. That's the exciting stuff. Is the Christmas jumper? Maybe I'll just leave it there. Maybe I should just stop the video here. We'll move on. Let's not talk about January's budget. We have to. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about January's budget. So I'm a bit mixed minds about this, right? First of all, I'm going to go down the obvious route, which is like how we're all going to feel immediately. And then I'll sort of say what I think on the other side of it. So this is from ex-WHU employees, come from the top man at the club. We know who that is, but I'm not going to say the name. But yeah, it's come from the top man. I don't know why we can't say the name really, but anyway, don't know. X doesn't do it, so I better not because I don't want to get in trouble. But anyway, it comes from a high place source at the football club, a very high place source. Maybe not a high place source in terms of height, you know what I mean? But he's a high place source person at the football club. Anyway, talking about our January spend and what we've got coming up. I mean, let's be honest, for football fans, January is like, you know, it's more exciting than bloody Christmas, especially if you're doing well. It really is, isn't it? If you're having a good season and you get a January, who are we going to get? Go on, let's strengthen. West Ham always let us down anyway, so I'm not getting too excited. But having said that, we did buy Jared Bowen, I think, in January once, didn't we? I'm sure that was his January signing. And Suchek, but anyway, yeah. So you know, January is an exciting time for football fans, and it could be another one for West Ham in such because you know you get round to it and you think, right, if we're doing, let's just say we have a decent run up till Christmas now, get some points to the ball, we're sitting 7th, sitting 6th, who knows? You know what I mean? Suddenly you get a bit excited. I know people are going to comment on that, me saying that because people are going to be, oh, you live in delusion, we're never going to be there, but you never know. Do you know what I mean? You never know. I'm just trying to be a little bit optimistic, but we could be. But if we get there and we're going, oh, who are we going to get then? Because West Ham need to get a striker. That's fact. That hasn't changed. I'm not saying we're not going to do that. West Ham are not going to be spending a lot of money, I don't think. I think we've got to be very, very careful. So this has come from the top man at the club. Under financial fair play, FFP, we are struggling. That was the actual quote. We are struggling. We do not want to do an Everton. They said they overspent in 2021. That's what's caught us out. We overspent. We went over our budget in 2021. That's why we went on that watch list. If you remember the UEFA watch list thing, I believe, and I don't know whether we're off that now, but we're on it. So let's assume we're still on it. And the club have to be careful. So basically, what we're hearing, there is a bit of money, but it's not a lot. And if West Ham are going to spend some money, then they need to go and sell some players or go to a loan market. So look. First of all, when you first hear news like that, you do think to yourself, oh, shit, you know what I mean? Really? You've got no money? Oh, how depressing. Oh, God, Danny Ings is going to be our main striker. All that, you know what I mean? I get those horrible feelings in your mind. But then the other side of the coin, right, I do sometimes think to myself, yeah, but I don't want to be in a position that other clubs have find themselves in. Everton, obviously, the prime one. I mean, look at the state of that club. Look at what they've been doing. And people go like, oh, it's a harsh sentence against Everton. It is. I mean, you know, when you consider other things that are going on. But I don't think you can keep looking at other clubs at the time and going, well, that's not fair. We've had only that and they've only had that. They're two separate things. Everton knew what they were doing. They know the rules. You know what I mean? You are within... The clubs do know the rules of the game. And they've sort of not ignored it, I don't think. There were circumstances, but I think they're able to get away with it and say, oh, yeah, we'll just say COVID or whatever. I mean, this is my fault on it, right? And I just think that they've been done for it. All right, it is harsh. I mean, 10 points is a big, chunk of points that take away from them. That could be massively costly from this season. I know people are saying, well, they'll get out of it because the team's rubbish, but I'm not sure Luton are picking up, and it's a massive blow to them, massive blow. And if they go into administration, I think it's another 9 points as well. And that could happen. That really could happen. So, look, I'm not saying West Ham are going to go down that path, but what I'm saying is it's quite good of our owners, in a sense. And please don't think I'm backing our owners here because people will jump on that. I'm just saying I'm quite pleased that they're being sensible. I think it is right. I'd much rather that than West Ham going bloody blow £30 million on a striker in January, that, whatever. And then we end up getting next season getting absolutely fined and dock points and all that. So in the long run, I'd rather West Ham be sensible on it. But what it does mean is that West Ham are going to have to be really clever. This is where Tim Steidten and his team are going to bloody earn their money now because they've not got a luxury of players. This is why we bought Steidten, though. He is what they call him, the pearl diver. This is what we want to go and find these players that are not going to cost too much. Are going to come in here and have an impact at the club. Let's be honest, his record at the moment is brilliant. I'm not saying he's gone out and not hardly spent any money because we've spent a bit of money, but he's got a great track record for it. We're going to do a video tomorrow on a bit more on the actual targets and players that are coming out that we're going to be looking at. We've already sort of talked about Riley's done a video a little bit on that. He did one earlier actually on the injuries as well, which has obviously been a bit of a problem. But in regards to this, West Ham have got to be bloody clever, really, really smart here. Because we don't want to be in a situation like the other clubs. It's quite clear that the Premier League or whatever, the FA are coming down very hard now on clubs. I mean, Man City, God knows what's going to happen to them. God alone knows what's going to happen to them. God knows what's going to happen to Chelsea. Probably bugger all. You know, it's like flipping football these days, with these bigger clubs. Who knows? But let's just say something big happens. I mean, they're under a lot of pressure now because of what they've done with Everton. They kind of have to act. They can't go, oh, yeah, it's fine. Do you know what I mean? So I think something is going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be as drastic as relegations and things, but you just don't know, do you? You just do not know. So I do like the fact that West Ham are being sensible, that we're looking at it in a proper business manner and looking at it going, look, we're not going to shoot ourselves in the foot. But, yeah, this is from the top bloke. So all I'm trying to say is that West Ham aren't going to be splashing cash in January. There's a little budget there, but it looks like it's either going to be sort of small spend or loans. Loans is a preferable, isn't it? The other side of it, though, this is what I kind of want to ask some people about it. What about us selling some players? What about us flogging a few off? So we've got players that are coming to the end of their contracts. I don't know how West Ham do this. I really don't. Do you know what? A mate of mine, Rob, who works at West Ham, funny enough, he's really knowledgeable of this sort of thing. And he's been saying to me for ages, why do West Ham always get themselves in positions where they let the contracts run down and then try and desperately sell them and they don't get any money back? He's right. Like, why do we do it? if you're gonna, if Pablo Fornals, for instance, or whatever, Ogbonna, right, are running down their contracts, and the intention is you're not going to keep them, right? Then why wait until they're in the last year? Why not flog them when they've got 2 years to go? So at least you've got some sort of, and then get your next plan in. I don't really see the point of keep waiting for these players to run their contracts down. But look, so the problem is that we're going to January. What I was thinking is we're going to flog some of these players to raise the funds and to go and reinvest. But the problem is, what are you going to get? What are you going to get for Fornals now? Do you know what I mean? Like, not a lot. What are you going to get for Connor Coventry? Realistically, 5 million, maybe 10. I mean, very most. I mean, even 10, I think, is a push now. Do you know what I mean? I ain't got much time. Well, you won't get 10 million for him, will you? Because he's on his last few months of his contract. This is what I'm saying. We're leaving ourselves really short here. I mean, Danny Ings would need to get off the bloody wage book. I mean, who's going to buy him? Who's going to buy Danny Ings and take on 120 grand a week where he's on? No one. No one's going to do that. So naive. So we're really in a sticky position. So the point I'm trying to make is that Tim Steidten's under a bloody lot of pressure here. The only other player, actually, before I go on to that bit, is Max Cornet. He's the only one you can kind of look at and go, you could raise a bit of money out of him. But he has been diabolical at West Ham. It's not. And I put up a tweet earlier, and I'm not having a go at him necessarily for that. But he's had a terrible injury. He never gets a go. And I know people go, yeah, that's David Moyes. David Moyes, that's his fault, you know. And yeah, he's partly is to blame for it. But at the same time, we don't see Max Cornet in training, do we? I'm not getting the impression from the manager that he's performing overly well in training, because otherwise he'd be short him with a shout. And I don't like the fact that when he got injured, he had to demand that he went up to France and his treatment there. I don't know. I've not been overly impressed with the guy, and I just think he's another one we'd struggle to offload. If we do offload him, we're not going to get a ton of money back. But West Ham have got to play it really well here. But yeah, budget-wise, look, there ain't a lot there. Tim Steidten, this is the time now where you earn your bloody money.